I'm Jason Westover. I'm the Director of National Expansion at iDeal Furniture, and my story of how I got here is kind of a crazy one, because I grew up, in a family where it was just my mom, and she was always working 2-3 jobs, struggling to make ends meet, and that's the background I come from. We were always moving because we could never afford where we were, and through the years, that's what I knew, and that's what I followed. But slowly, I knew that I wanted to find better in my life, and I wanted to somehow get more. I knew that there had to be more out there. There's people successful, like how do they do that? And I took a traditional route in getting a job and started working myself up the corporate ladder. And with that, I was able to go through and get into management. I was the operations manager of a pest control company with amazing people, and as I started, it was a family-owned business, and as I started talking to those owners and their beliefs and thoughts about life, on bringing value to people and offering jobs and trying to help people to better their life and their circumstances, it slowly started bringing me into a new way of thinking. I was affected with a lot of tough economical times, like everyone, a lot of people anyways, during the 2008, and I kept getting laid off from one job after the other and bouncing from thing to thing, and I finally decided, I wanted to control where my life went and what I did, and I started getting into entrepreneurship, and I found some books by Robert Kiyosaki, and he started teaching about what is the difference between those who earn profits versus wages and have a business mindset versus those that are employees. And as I started shifting and taking a look at things like that, Robert Kiyosaki said 9 out of 10 businesses fail. What does that mean? Try 10 businesses. So I braced myself for that. I started businesses, one after the other, failed, invested a lot of money in some, invested a little bit of money in others, a lot of time in some, pretty much a lot of time in all of them. But I learned and I grew, and my philosophies about life changed through that process. I started learning what is the difference between earning profits from wages. When you're earning wages, there's only so much you can do to increase your income. You go back to school, get a lot more debt, and try to get a better job. Work up the corporate ladder a little bit, get a little bit of a raise here and there. But there's only so much hours and time in your day. But when you're looking at ways of how to earn profit, profit is one of those things that you earn profit based on the value you bring to others. And when you start looking at what can I do to change other people's lives and affect them, that's when profit starts finding a way to come into your life. And so that's what I started looking for and started building in my businesses. And the more that I got towards that, the more success I started finding. And I ended up meeting the president of the Chamber of Commerce when my wife and I moved out to Indiana. His name was Kyle Morey. And Kyle Morey and I hit it off in all kinds of ways. We started working at what kind of businesses, how can we change the world together? We started writing children's books and getting out there. And he took his family out and started touring the world and homeschooling them, and world schooling them is what he called it, teaching them different parts and aspects of life and culture. And during that process, he found this company called iDeal Furniture. And iDeal Furniture was, when he saw this video, he says, come and take a look at this company. And I watched the video and I thought, they have a little bit of a different marketing system, but all I'd seen on, news, TVs, Toys R Us, all different places going out of business constantly. And for years before that, I always saw going out of business signs on furniture stores. And it had me really leery. When I was living in Casa Grande, Arizona, there was a furniture store, and it had a going out of business sign for like 5 years. It always there, and I didn't realize that was not really a very honest marketing tactic, that they just had to drag people in there. But iDeal Furniture, they're true to who they are. They don't use crazy marketing ploys. They just have an incredible business model to get people furniture for a great price and to make a great profit in between that. And so when you look at what they're offering and what they teach, Robert Kiyosaki is right, 9 out of 10 businesses fail. But then when you take a look at other business models, franchises and whatever else, when you have the training behind things, 9 out of 10 of those businesses succeed. And with iDeal Furniture, they succeed every time because they've got the training to support and back you up. All it takes on your part is the effort behind it, the harder I found Larry Kozin has often said that the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I found that to be true in my own life, that the more I work and the more diligent I am, the more success I'm able to find with that. And that's one of the reasons I've loved iDeal Furniture. From the moment that I started talking with Kyle, ended up getting into the iDeal Furniture, I told him, I just warned him, they have a unique business model, make sure it's solid. And when he went with it, he started telling me about Larry Kozin, about John Bellavy, and the kind of people they are, and the leadership that this company has. And he got me on a phone call, a Skype call or whatever, and we actually sat and we talked face to face and got to know who Larry is and some of what it is he does, and the leadership that this company has. They're true to who they are. They're out there making a difference, transforming people's lives, and seeing what they can do to better this world. And that aligns with everything that I am and everything that I believe. And that's what brought me in with iDeal Furniture, and I'm looking forward to all of the beauty that we create in this world. It's going to be amazing.